All right, all right. What's going on, everybody? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. It's your Jersey boy, Omar Redamar, and I am super excited today because we have a powerful interview happening. And I want you to meet an amazing man, an amazing person of service, a heart of golden heart, who's just making a big impact and a difference out there. And today, we're going to be talking about some stuff, and you want to stay to the end because at the end, there's a giveaway, a very bold one, and you're going to learn how to get that. So today with me, we have a person who I admire highly. I recently met him, but I've seen a little bit on his profile, and he's not just part of our team, recently new member, but he's also in a big competition right now, and one of his dreams is coming true. And I'm honored to have him here on my page interviewing him, Martin Kodua, from school teacher to Mr. Muscle and Fitness. What's going on, man? How you feeling today, sir?
I'm feeling great, brother. I'm feeling great. Good to be here.
Honored to have you here on our page and expose you to our audience. So hearing a little bit about your story got my attention, immensely. Not just because you have a chiseled, body, and you're going to be exposed. You got people's attention to a point where a renowned magazine is you're competing for to being in there. So I'm glad, and I'm hoping you get that. Not just that award, but the recognition and acknowledge that you're making a difference in this world, making people healthier, making people better, fitter, and feeling the best days of their lives. So just a little bit of background of you, like where you come from, how long you've been here, how long you've been involved with the fitness world, and what's your passion with it. Just to give a little background, that we'll get inside into the interview and help people out understand why it's important.
All right, I appreciate you having me, Omar. Pleasure to be here. Um, my family were from Ghana. I grew up in the Bronx. I went to Bronx schools, all that good stuff. And my passion for fitness really started at around 14 years old, middle school, when most folks were at lunch playing around. I would try to sneak into the school gym and try to get that quick pump. And next thing you know, with all the teen T levels, growth hormone rising, and all the other stuff, it just went from there, and it's been a passion and a way of life since then.
That's awesome. That's amazing. And I admire you because a lot of kids, I would say, at that age, they're not focused on really much of that. You get one another that could be, a little, they want to, get the attention of the girls, which is nothing wrong with that. But in today's world, there's so much noise, so much distractions that not many adolescents are focused on having that physique and staying healthy overall. So we're gonna go cover a few questions. First off, you've been picked to be represent one of the and be featured on one of the most renowned magazines right now, which is Mr. Muscle and Health or Mr. Muscle and Fitness magazine. That's a very known. Like we have Mark Wahlberg in there, we had people like celebrities in there, and you're gonna be part of that as well. So congratulations on that, and I'm excited. I can't wait to see you on that cover, man, and to say, "Yo, I know him. Yo, I know him." Pumped up, man. So real quick, I know time flies and you have a lot of stuff to do. So I'm going to have a few questions so we can share with people here and give them some value. And also those watching, I see Michael J. Smith, big shout out. I'm reading over here on the Facebook comments as well. Mr. J. Michael Smith, who's a serial entrepreneur from Texas. Man, it had the time. He got intrigued and he's here and he shared it. Thank you for sharing that. Highly appreciate you. And let's go to these questions real quick so we could get down to the nitty gritty of what we want to take and what we want to give more than anything, what we want to give today to people. So my first question to you, as you were young in this, adolescent mentality, what inspired you to pursue a career in personal training and fitness coaching, and how did you get started in that field?
All right. So, by the way, before I get into your question, which I'm happy to get into. There's a few folks who are ringing me saying that they're backstage waiting. So if we can get somebody to hop on the technical side real quick.
Right.
So,
Oh, okay. I see that they're in the backstage on the StreamYard. Yeah, they can go on the Facebook and hop on it real quick, so it won't
gotcha,
create that much
gotcha.
create.
All right. So basically, as I mentioned, I've always been passionate about fitness, but the thing that got me to decide to go in this direction was, let's say I'm in a gym, I'm training, or even in some instances I'm out and about. I would have people inundate me positively, obviously, in a manner that is obviously always welcoming. Like, yo, bro, what's your routine? What's your macros intake? What's this? What's that? And there's a real demand out there. So I figured, let me do this for real. Prior to that, I've always posted, post workout selfies of me, mostly just talking that smack, you know. But I figured, to whom much is given, much is expected. I can do a lot more with this platform. So I began to post, content, instructional videos in earnest, how to's, things of that nature. And, thankfully my social media picked up steam, and I came across some info about this contest, this competition, and the most well read, widely read publication in this fitness space. They were saying that they were having a competition. That's what the ad was saying. I applied for it. They checked out my socials. I submitted the questions that they were asking for, and next thing I know, I get this notification that I'm in a running, and it's
Wow.
a blessing. Yeah.
That's powerful, man. A lot of people, that's like, and now that you mentioned when you started when you're 14, right? That's like those that do go into like physique, that's like a big dream. Like down the road, they see themselves. Many people, most of them, I would say 90% of them deviate. They lose vision of their of that dream. They lose the energy and they kind of deviate. Sadly, today's world, you're so distracted by the noise out there, the influences of the peer pressures and all that. And some of them end up in places we don't even want to mention, especially you come from the Bronx. I'm in New Jersey, but I've been in BX many times. I know a few people out there. We know how that is, and I'm in a really crazy area as well, and I see the youth a little not so focused on where really they want to get. Having you do it, that's very inspiring, man. Very inspiring because that's like a huge dream come true for you. And in today's world, I was looking over your page on Instagram, and I see the testimonials. I see the people you've changed lives. That right there, my brother. That right there. That's the legacy you're going to leave in this world. When God calls us, and He's going to call each one of us. That's the legacy you will be remembered for. Transforming people's lives, changing them for a healthier and better them. That will never be forgotten, man. You're already leaving your legacy. I'm proud to say that. I'm actually gonna be one of the first ones in our team to be interviewing you. It's gonna be going long. Once I do this, you're gonna get calls and invitations for more. And hey, that's what it's about: to serving and making others people's lives better. So now that you mentioned into that, going to the second question. Then you began obviously as a personal trainer because I've seen everything you've done on Instagram at least. As a personal trainer, what philosophy or approach do you bring to our clients' fitness journeys? Because I know health and nutrition are together, so fitness journeys.
Okay, I appreciate that question. So my mission in a way is twofold. Number one, there's a lot of folks out there that are very busy, obviously, and those folks often find themselves too busy to work out. That's a line that I'm constantly hearing. I'd love to have a fitness routine, but I'm just too busy, right? Well, here's my thinking on that, right? Where there's a will, there's a way. Okay, so if God willing, I'm able to come out ahead. My goal is to use my platform to demonstrate that being busy with adult responsibilities and having a fitness routine, the two goals are not mutually exclusive. You can and should have both. That's the one factor. The other factor is that as I mentioned, I've been involved in some capacity in fitness, and in the past couple of decades, I've seen the industry go steadily towards more size. All right, there's guys that are under the impression that the more size, the more mass, the more muscle they're carrying, the better. They're mistakenly under the impression that they're somehow more aesthetic, they're healthier, and none of that is true. So I want to teach primarily the young folks that are following this industry that you don't need to add size to be fit. You don't need to add size to be aesthetic. You don't need to add size to be functional. If anything, doing all those things can hurt the things that I mentioned.
That's powerful. That is so powerful, and so good that you mentioned it, because sometimes I've spoken to all the personal trainers, and and I respect them all, but there is a bit of a misconcept, I would say, that people think that to be fit, you got to be big. You got to pack up that muscle. You got to be, huge. And when you look at that, there's a guy on social media. I don't know if you've seen him. He's viral everywhere. Anatoly. This guy's slim, bro. Like he's slim, and he goes to the gym just to prove him that. And they look at him. Some people do a deadlift with like 600, 700 pounds. They look at him, and he's like, "Oh, can I please try?" Right? And they, no, 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 you're gonna get hurt. No, no, don't do that. Dude just deadlifts like crazy. That's the difference between being healthy and strong, not necessarily big, and being big. Because you can have pack all the muscle you can, but if you can't barely use it, there's no use. And there's people who can barely scratch their back, or God even know what else, because they're so huge. See, that's the big difference. And I'm glad you brought that. Because I mean, I'm seeing your pictures, bro. You're chiseled. Like you are ripped, but you're flexible, you're agile. And I think that's a culture we should be bringing in a lot more and understanding. Like me, I have a 7-year-old grandson. I want to be stay fit and healthy. I want to be able to chase him still, play ball with him if I got to, and not necessarily being big and say, "Oh yeah, I'm big, but I can't run. I have no stamina. I have no resistance." That's very, very important. So, and oh, by the way, Ronnie DeLuz, Dr. Ronnie DeLuz is connected, and she says she's waving, she's saying hi to you, and everybody else is connected.
I'll say
If
hi
you know
back.
who Dr. Ronnie is, she's a celebrity detox diet doctor for our co-founder of Martha's Vineyard Retreat. So she's watching. She's watching, and she's like you, man. She's an advocate to make a difference in this world. Our next question is more like, in your expertise and your experiences that you've gone through this journey. Obviously, you've been years in this industry, and that's the main focus, because it's not you just overnight or you started yesterday. No, no, you've been years, and this is continuous, and you stay on it. And it wasn't just to get impression. No, you're continuing to make an impact. So, in your experience, what are some common challenges that clients face when they're trying to achieve their fitness goals, and how do you help them overcome these challenges? Like you said, you're in BX. A lot of people have no time. But besides those, what are the challenges that you mostly see, and how you help them?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So, as I mentioned before, the thing that typically comes up over and over is this idea that okay, I'm too busy to work out, and that's a legitimate concern. So, one of the things that I do is that I take a closer look at the daily schedule. Okay, and as a coach, I do what I call the schedule test. There's a 100% certainty that I'm gonna be able to find room and space in anybody's schedule where I can add elements to it to make them more fit, and that is a challenge that as a coach, I always look forward to. So it almost doesn't matter how busy somebody is or how busy they believe they are. There's almost always space for a healthier version of themselves, and that's
Mm.
a challenge that I always welcome.
It's like that saying, "Well, there's a will, there's a way." I think something like that. If they really
Absolutely.
want it, they're going to find a way. And that in today's world, where you see people, sadly, stuck on their phones, and they say they don't have time. But how much time are people scrolling? They're on Scrollville, and they could cut off some of that time to make things happen. That's another topic for another day. I don't want to. But and by the way, Ohima Laricel says we're proud of you, Martin. They commented on YouTube. I don't know, and they say they're proud of you. So there you go, man. That's
That,
great,
that
and
that's my
thank you for commenting on that, because a lot of people, this is good that I get to see the comments on YouTube as well.
that's
And
my
then
sister.
now,
That's my big
so
sister for sure.
that's your big sister. Awesome,
Yeah.
man. Look at that. Look at that, man. God bless her. That's great. That's great to have that support as well. Now, before we close it up, one more question before we talk about the special giveaway you have around there, kind of like a bold one. So, if anybody's watching this, this is the part where you want to stay because you want to get the details and how you can actually uh, possibly win what he's going to tell you. It's very simple. All right. And then we're going to tell you where to go very soon so you can help him out with your votes and push out there because we want this man to win. He needs to make a difference. He's not about just he's not about just getting there. It's about making an impact. And he's already making it. He wants to touch more people. All right. Our final question is this is a kind of like a tick one, right? With the rise of online fitness programs and apps, how do you differentiate yourself as a personal trainer offering one on one or group sessions?
That's an excellent question. So I take a personalized, customized approach. When it comes to being fit, being more healthy, there's no one size fits all approach. Obviously, there's areas where there's significant overlap from one person to the other, right? Like if I ate broccoli and chicken and rice, of course I'm gonna be healthier generally, right? If I'm running a couple miles a day, of course generally I'm gonna be healthier. Those are some of the basic areas of overlap. But then, as unique as we all are as individuals, we have to make room for that. Okay, so I take a closer look at the way somebody lives, the choices that they're making, and as I mentioned, there's a 99.9, possibly higher, likelihood that I'm going to find a way to make them healthier. And I think ultimately, that's the one thing that sets me apart. It's immensely personalized. It's immensely customized, and I think that's my niche in this space.
That's powerful. That's very powerful there, man. And I appreciate that you're doing this with such a passion. Um, it's interesting that you mentioned a very personalized approach. Some people, when they start getting uh, big, to say, they're just trying to get big because they're getting attention. So they just kind of like wing it out and make a one size fit all meal plan or nutrition plan or workout plan, and that's not right. That doesn't work for everybody. Everybody has a personalized. First off, metabolically, everybody's different. Everybody's body's different. Your intake is going to be different. Your goals are going to be different. So I really appreciate that you're doing that with such a passion, and being able to personalize it is beyond what anybody can expect. So now there's a bold giveaway that you mentioned. You want to help more people out, and I'm gonna let you kind of like break it down a little bit. But there's something that people do not want to miss out, especially if they struggle with what we eat, because that's the biggest question, especially over here in the city. You're around the city, you're around New York City, or where I'm at, North Jersey, which is pretty much the city. I'm across the river right there. People have no time to prep good food or cook. So what do you have for them?
All right. So basically, the goal of this effort is to help me win and raise awareness. Okay, bring fitness and nutrition and overall wellness more to the forefront, particularly amongst the adults that are busy, often finding themselves too busy to work out. If I'm able to win this contest, guys, my promise to you was this, okay? For the folks that are consistently voting, and if you're in this chat, chances are you've been fairly active and consistent. My promise is to create a 1 month meal plan for you, 1 month, completely free. Now, I it's important that I win in order to for me to deliver on this. And I know this is an incredibly bold promise, okay, but it's one that I intend on carrying out. Chances are I'm gonna be making something somewhere in the thousands, and I'm gonna probably, as a school teacher, maybe take some time off of my daily responsibilities because I'm not gonna get any sleep otherwise, right? But if God willing, I'm able to win, my promise that to you all is that I promise to deliver 1 month of meal plan to you guys. Okay, guys. So definitely, tap in and help me get that W.
That's powerful, man. That's powerful. In 1 month. I mean, not 1 week, not 5 days like you find them online around there. No, no, no. 1 month, man. That is a big, big giveaway and for free. All they got to do is just vote, correct?
Oh yes, oh
Vote.
yes,
And
absolutely,
then
guys. And by support, I do mean vote. You got to vote every 24 hours, guys. Every
I just
24 hours.
posted the link in here in the comments on Facebook. If anybody's on Facebook, anybody on YouTube, I'm going to put it there as well so they can have it there. Let me go real quick, but it's really important to understand. Listen, you can make all the craziness that you could probably think of, but 1 month of meal prep can get you very, really, really far. Like
Yes.
it can change your whole life. So that right there, don't take it light. So what I suggest is anybody who's actually on here, let's just go blow up that page right now. I just posted it in here in the comments. Now, once you do, there's something you have to do when down the road. And Martin's gonna tell you what you got to do because we're not gonna just take it for oh I did it.
Oh, you got to send me screenshots, guys. You got to send me screenshots of your votes. Okay, so let's fast forward. By the way, this contest has multiple rounds. All right. So if you've ever seen the World Cup, how there's like a group stage, and then there's the next stage, and then the next stage, right? This is going to last several rounds. All right. Somewhere in, I would say, I believe in June, late June. That's how far this thing is gonna go. So I'm gonna need you guys' stamina. Okay, all it takes is just a few minutes out of your day to vote, but please do definitely do vote. I'm more than happy, with my guys to send out daily reminders to get you guys going to vote, but you definitely gotta vote. All right, help me out.
Absolutely, and bring in that screenshot. We're trusting that you're gonna do it, but you got to bring in that screenshot so we can know it's true
Oh
and
yes, and,
legit.
and and here's the other thing, guys. It's one thing to vote. It's also something else, and this has been immensely helpful to share the link and information about the contest in both your stories and also on your post. So you post about it, you share it in your stories. It goes a lot further than a lot of folks seem to realize. Just getting the word out.
And by the way, you will also this is a new one. If you're on here watching this live, only this weekend. If you need any suggestions on powerful supplementation that he is also going to suggest, there's a 20% off. And you can reach out to him, and depending on what you're needing, because you're not gonna get anything just to bump you in the head, he's gonna give you the quality you need. All right. Now just a meal plan, but that's just this weekend. That's just this weekend. Everything else rolls down to July. Just this weekend until the weekend is over, Mother's Day is over, you have that 20% discount to start having the really high quality, chemical free, toxic free supplementation with one of the most advanced biotechnologies out there for your body, for your fitness, and for your goals. All right. So just in case there's a little extra, I wanted to throw that out there. So we see that we did have a good audience getting connected on Facebook, and I want to shout them out. Hilda Nanette, this is definitely, she said, thank you for thinking of others. I will be voting. Thank you so much, Hilda. J. Michael Smith already started following you on Instagram, and he's voting. He actually posted on his personal group.
I
We're
appreciate you,
voting
Jay.
daily. I vote daily. I can send you my screenshot and I can let you know. But this is something that we're proud. Not just yet, you're part of our community, but you're making a difference. And it takes somebody with a heart of gold like you have, a heart of service that you really, really want to make an impact to make this happen. A lot of people think about themselves. They're about the me, me, me. You thought about others, how you can give, and that's what makes us unique. That's what makes Martin Kodua the man who's going to win that competition. All right, so we're ending up. If you have any questions after this and you want to leave them, drop them in the comments. Even after the broadcast, we're going to come back to them, and he's going to reply to your questions personally. So you can drop some questions you have, anything you have on this broadcast on Facebook Live or on YouTube. And you can ask him anything you want. Where do you start? How do I start? What do I begin eating? Hey, I got big belly, or I'm just sedentary. I don't work out and I want to start feeling a little more energy. Where do I start? Anything you want to ask, you can drop him in here and he'll be glad to come back and give you, whatever tips possible. All right. So any extra words, Dua?
Yes, sir. Guys, girls, ladies, gentlemen, it is my honor to be of service. I love fitness, obviously. I'm very passionate about this stuff. And in order for me to elevate this platform and bring greater awareness to, healthy eating, exercising, things of that nature, I'm going to need you all's support. Please do vote often, vote always, every 24 hours. You guys are allowed to vote. And I do appreciate you, Omar, for having me. And let's get it. Let's make it happen.
That's it, man. And remember, you only live once, and your body's the only place you're going to spend the rest of your days. Make the best out of it. God bless you all, and I'll see you on the other side. Bye bye, bye bye. Thank you, Martin.
Bye, y'all.